Chapter 15. Last Visit to Keshab. Wednesday, November 28, 1883. At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, M. was pacing the footpath of the circular road in front of the lily cottage, where Keshab Chandra Sen lived. He was eagerly awaiting the arrival of Sri Ramakrishna. Keshab's illness had taken a serious turn, and there was very little chance of his recovery. Since the master loved Keshab dearly, he was coming from Dakshineshwar to pay him a visit. On the east side of the circular road was Victoria College, where the ladies of Keshab's Brahmo Samaj and their daughters received their education. To the north of the college was a spacious garden house inhabited by an English family. M. noticed that there was a commotion in the house and wondered what was going on. Presently, a hearse arrived with the drivers dressed in black, and the members of the household appeared, looking very sad. There had been a death in the family. Whither does the soul go, leaving behind this mortal body? Pondering the age-old question, M. waited, watching the carriages that came from the north. About 5 o'clock, a carriage stopped in front of the lily cottage, and Sri Ramakrishna got out with Latu and several other devotees, including Rakhal. He was received by Keshab's relatives, who led him and the devotees upstairs to the veranda south of the drawing room. The master seated himself on a couch. After a long wait, he became impatient to see Keshab. Keshab's disciples said that he was resting and would be there presently. Sri Ramakrishna became more and more impatient and said to Keshab's disciples, "Look here, what need is there of his coming to me? Why can't I go in and see him?" Prasanna, humbly, "Sir, he will come in a few minutes." Master, "Go away. It is you who are making all this fuss. Let me go in." Prasanna began to talk about Keshab in order to divert the master's attention. He said, "Keshab is now an altogether different person. Like you, sir, he talks to the Divine Mother. He hears what the Mother says and laughs and cries." When he was told that Keshab talked to the Divine Mother and laughed and cried, the master became ecstatic. Presently, he went into Samadhi. It was winter, and the master was wearing a green flannel coat with a shawl thrown over it. He sat straight, with his eyes fixed, deep in ecstasy. A long time passed in this way. There was no indication of his returning to the normal plane of consciousness. Gradually it became dark. Lamps were lighted in the drawing room, where the master was now to go. While he was slowly coming down to the plane of ordinary consciousness, he was taken there, though with great difficulty. The room was well furnished. At the sight of the furniture, the master muttered to himself, "These things were necessary before, but of what use are they now?" Seeing Rakhal, he said, "Oh, hello. Are you here?" Then seating himself on a couch, he again lost consciousness of the outer world, and, looking around as if seeing someone, he said, "Hello, mother. I see that you have come too. How you are showing off in your Benares sari. Don't bother me now, please. Sit down and be quiet." The master was in a state of intense divine intoxication. In the well-lighted room, the Brahmo devotees sat around the master. Latu, Rakhal, and M remained near him. He was saying to himself, still filled with divine fervor, "The body and the soul. The body was born, and it will die. But for the soul, there is no death. It is like the betel nut. When the nut is ripe, it does not stick to the shell. But when it is green, it is difficult to separate it from the shell. After realizing God, one does not identify oneself anymore with the body. Then one knows that body and soul are two different things.